Hey there, gang. I haven't done a cooking video for a while, and my other excuse for doing this today is I want to try out some new software for editing videos. I think I've made a note on my YouTube channel that my main computer had a heart attack and it's in intensive care. It works, but extremely slowly. I mean, like 3 minutes to open a web page, and I don't know what's wrong with it. So until I can get my son-in-law to take a good look at it, since that's what he does for a living, I'm going to try loading some new editing software onto my wife's laptop PC and do the editing of this video on that. So we'll see if that works. Anyways, what we're going to cook today is a meatloaf, and we thought we'd do a Mexican meatloaf because we've got a bag of tortilla chips that were down near the bottom of it, and they're all cracked and small and in chunks, so I'm going to squish them a little bit further and make tortilla chip crumbs. Instead of using breadcrumbs in the meatloaf, we're going to use tortilla chips. So I thought I'd make a Mexican flavored meatloaf. So let's take a look at the ingredients and then we'll throw it all together. Okay, we're starting off with a mixture. We bought this, it's a little over a pound of a ground turkey and ground beef mix. And then I've got a pound of ground pork. Going to chop up one fine little jalapeno, last one out of my little container garden. Going to add some ranchera salsa, a little bit of creamy pablano and queso soup from Campbell's. It's a new one, I've never tried this, you'd be curious. Some chili powder, a little bit of cilantro, and somewhere around here I've got an egg. I'll go get that and we'll add an egg to it too. Okay, we'll start by throwing in the ground pork. And the turkey beef. And I told you I'd find an egg somewhere. It was in the fridge. I just forgot to take it out. A little bit of... I'm not going to use the full jalapeno. We can only handle so much of hot stuff. So, but I'll chop this up fairly small. And take out the insides because everybody says that's where the heat's at. Put that in the garbage. Chili powder. How much? About like that. That's a little over a teaspoon, teaspoon and a half maybe, a little bit more. Cilantro. This thing's almost empty, so I'm just going to pour it in. No, it's not quite that bad. About a teaspoon and a half of that. Use about half this can of salsa ranchera. Okay, that's it for now. Let's get out these things. Where's my pounder? There we are. pounded chips. Maybe about a cup's worth, I'm guessing. Just washed my hands before I started the video, so now the fun part. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it, to use the half beef, half ground turkey in order to cut down on the fat. And then I add ground pork, which is kind of a fatty ground meat. So you may think this is an odd combination, but I don't know. The whole thing's an experiment, but it just sounded like a good idea to us. That stuff is cold. Now I'm going to put it into my fancy little meatloaf pan here. This is kind of a neat little pan. It's a double pan, and it's got holes in the bottom of it. So we've got a big size pan, and then this one that the meat goes in. And what's going to happen here is any fat that comes out, instead of this thing effectively boiling in the fat and everything when it's in the oven, the fat's going to drip out into the other pan, and we're going to get a drier meatloaf this way, and I think I like that better. So let's start by just putting this guy in there. Looks about right. I'm going to go wash my hands. Tell you what, after that cold meat mixture on my hands, the warm water felt good. Now, a lot of people like to put ketchup and stuff on the top of their meatloaf. What I'm going to do is mix this pablano and queso soup mix with the rest of the salsa. I've also seen people who melt cheese on top. But this is going to be our sauce for the top. I may have a little too much here, but okay, time to go throw this in the oven. Here we go. I've got the oven preheated to 350. And we'll throw that in. Start the timer. What do we want to go for? How about 45 minutes? And we'll see if that's enough. We'll test it after that. But come here, thing. Anyways, that's the start of it. We'll see what it tastes like, and should make a good lunch with a couple of extra slices of meatloaf for leftovers. Get back to you in 45 minutes. Okay, well, it's been a little bit more than 45 minutes. It's closer to an hour that it was in the oven. Because it's got turkey in it and pork, I decided to let it go a little bit longer, to a little bit higher internal temperature. And I took the meatloaf to about 170. Don't know, maybe it's a little too much, but I was trying to play it on the safe side considering there's poultry in it. So let's take a look at the meatloaf and slice it up and prepare a plate. So, smells good. If we're doing this Mexican, I thought we'd throw a bit of avocado on top of it. So, definitely has a Mexican style flavor to it. I think I'm going to put a little bit of salsa on it, and then it'll be pretty good. I mean, it's not bad now, but I think that'll help it. So anyways, thanks for watching the video. If you like my videos, hey, I sure would appreciate if you'd subscribe to my channel. Bye-bye.